I'm Eli Sagor with the University of Minnesota Extension. For the next few minutes we're going to talk about thinning conifer stands. A lot of Minnesota family forest owners have aging plantations, whether it's red pine, white spruce, or other conifer species. And in some cases those stands would really benefit from thinning. We're here today with Art Widerstrom. Art is a DNR forester based just north of the Twin Cities. And Art is going to tell us about some of the trade-offs and some of the opportunities associated with thinning conifer stands.
Well, there are a few reasons why we want to thin plantations, and maybe the first one would be tree health. We want to get rid of dead trees, dying trees. Maybe we got pockets of bark beetle infestation. Then we want to thin out poorly formed trees, doubles. You get a lot of trees that they've got broken tops and then they've regrown. And then the thin ones that are suppressed, we're going to get rid of them. So then you end up with what I call maybe a crop tree. And those are the trees that are really going to grow. They're going to get more light, at least on 3 sides of them. And this is your future forest. Well, usually the first thinning is the pre-commercial or a non-commercial thinning. It's early on in a stand. The trees generally could be as early as 15 years. But this is key because if we don't do the pre-commercial, it affects all the other stands, the future thinnings, and your trees. That's when we get these stands where you've got 4-inch diameter trees throughout the whole thing. So you want to do that pre-commercial. There's no money involved, but you might be able to use the stuff for posts or home use or fencing. And then your next cut, then you're going to get into your commercial thinnings, and that's where we're going to start generating some income for you. And then we're going to get into pulp and boats and poles and the whole run of your wood material. There's generally several types of thinnings. The first commercial one is generally in a plantation. Usually we're taking rows out, and because you need to get room to work the equipment. So you might take a row and you might leave 2 or 3. It varies, but that's the general criteria, and you can just mark the rows. You should have either a consultant forester or a forester from a state agency or federal to help you on this, because this is pretty important, because this is going to affect your stand from the future on. And then if your next cuttings are going to be more select cuttings, and you can do various versions there. You can have the professional forester mark it for you. You can do a logger select where you tell them you want to cut every tree that's less than a certain diameter, or you maybe want to take certain species out of the stand. And then when you're marking, then you're getting into selection. And then you're looking for tree form, quality. Remember, these are your crop trees. So the ones with the nicest crowns that don't have double tops, or they're not busted off, just good form. Those are the things you're looking for. And you should remember that different landowners have different objectives for their stands, and we should always be managing towards that. And generally that might have been put forth in a stewardship or a management plan earlier, which is also another important thing to think about. So you might want to save trees, wildlife trees. Maybe there's certain species that the landowner likes that you want to keep. Sometimes there's a tree that's it's just unusual form, or it's a special tree. I've run into those. And that's fine, we don't have to cut it exactly like we're in a clinical lab. There's going to be trade-offs in thinning. You're either if you take too many trees, you're going to have problems, especially in first thinnings. I've noticed it. You get wind throw, and your stand, that's not good. If you don't take enough trees, you're not going to get the growth response, and then you're about back where you started. So you really need a professional forester's help because each stand is different. So thinning and selective cutting is going to enhance our present stand and improve the growth rates, and this is very good. But there is a downside that we need to be aware of, that when we do a thinning, that we're allowing more light to the forest floor, and that can create growth of brush and shrubs. And these shrubs can hinder your future generation of your stand by shading some of your more sun-tolerant conifers.
Art mentioned a number of benefits to thinning conifer plantations. Thinnings can improve forest health, they can focus growing space on the best trees in your woods, and they can also pretty dramatically improve the financial returns associated with managing your land. So how do you get started? The first thing to do is to get a forest stewardship plan. Stewardship plans are prepared by private consulting foresters or by public foresters, agency foresters, either with the DNR or with local soil and water conservation districts or other organizations. Either way, your first point of contact is your nearest DNR forestry area office. Our website has links to those forestry area offices. If you have questions, ideas, or comments on this video, please leave them on our site. Thanks for joining us. I hope this has been useful.